gonna ask. I don't know what this is, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Hey, everybody.
It had a sound effect that made me think somebody was hitting a bong. I was like, can somebody share with me?
Bang, bang.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Ooh, come on in. Come on in. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Come on in.
Yes.
All right, that's doing too much.
Hi, Zim.
Hey, guys. Come on in.
Now, where's Mark? Really, Jay? No Mark today.
Really? That's what we doing? Hey, Jalen. Hey, J-Dub.
Hi, Jalen.
Jalen and Jay.
He said, where's Mark? What would Mark do?
Y'all are funny.
This show ain't
Y'all
about Mark. You just want a male perspective on here. You cracking me up.
Hey, you get what you get. And you love what you get. So
All the time.
Hey. I don't, Mark okay, but we really cute. Okay.
Did Mark just say, I'm here?
I'm here.
I'm just saying, but Mark is okay, but we really cute. Okay, we really cute. You better recognize me without my poofiness.
So what game are you watching tonight, JewCee?
I got the Eagles and the 49ers on right now.
I'm wondering, should I put my jersey back on? I took off my Rams jersey.
The Browns is over there hanging it tonight.
My Colts won, though.
Oh, boy. We love the Colts here in Cleveland. Yes, we do. That boy's leg, do we need to buy him a massage? What we need to get him?
She said, what do we need to do for him?
Are you talking about my quarterback?
Huh?
Are you talking about the quarterback?
No, girl.
J-Dub, where you at? Where do you live at, J-Dub, that you asking if it's the Eagles in Tampa?
He lives in Tampa.
Oh, you live in Tampa? That's okay.
No, she's cooking.
We'll let that slide.
I'm watching the game. Y'all know. Hey, William.
That you knew exactly who that was.
I seen them crusty elbows. Love you, nephew.
That's Auntie JewCee over there.
Oh, the kicker injured his leg. Okay. I didn't get to watch the game. I just saw the score. Hey, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
No, the kicker won the damn game for the Colts in overtime.
Oh, that's why you said he needs a massage.
Right. He set a record yesterday.
Oh, okay.
For 50 plus field goals. He hit 3 of them. That's what he did.
Mark said he needs the link.
No,
we gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on because we got to get through this show. We gonna stay on topic too.
No, we gonna stay on topic. We gonna get to him. No, he gonna join us in a sec. We're gonna let
because I got to get through this topic. Because
we got Miss Siren running shit. I ain't running shit tonight. I get my football.
They said I will stay on topic. We're gonna bring you on, patience, grasshopper, patience.
Grasshopper.
I'm about to fill my glass back up. Yes, it's definitely been one of them days.
I'm waiting on my daughter to bring me lemonade so I can pour my wine into it.
Hey, let's get it. Come on, daughter. Let's go.
I already took my shot. Thank you, Savak. Thank you. Cherry, what I got? Cherry limeade in there. Yo.
I got my Aldi special.
Hey.
I got this last little bit of apple pie wine from Oliver Winery.
Is it sweet?
Good.
It sounds like it's really
tastes like warm apple pie.
Ooh, and it's like really sweet. Ooh. I need the diabetic version. Because I can't do sweet shit. No, it's too much.
She said the diabetic.
It tastes like well, Pinot Grigio is apple flavored, so it tastes like a Pinot.
But Pinot has it has a slightly bitter, dry taste to it, but it does have a slight hint of sweetness. So if it's
crisp
that, then
apple
I can do
taste, like a sweet.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's a bitter, a sweet, bitter, dry.
So. Well, hello.
And love and healing light to Miss Peaches on her loss. That is nothing to play with. Please give her our love. Tell her our thoughts, prayers, and energy is definitely sending her way for healing. I can't say she's gonna get over it because you just don't.
Amen.
Oh, I
can't hear the bottom.
Right on cue.
And here we go.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another wonderful, marvelous Monday right here on JewCee Tales Erotic Chat. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. JewCee. And I could not do this show without my beautiful, vivacious, absolutely stunning melanated queens. We have all the way in Indianapolis, Indiana, Ms. Purple Rain, and from the beautiful hot city, Miss Hotness herself, we have Miss Siren all the way in LA. Okay, guys, welcome everybody. Hi.
And yes, I am the hotness that is in LA because LA is not hot.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
And we're gonna get colder. Like by the end of the week, we're gonna be in the 60s.
Yeah. What is going on with y'all's weather?
I have no idea. We're supposed to be in triple digits right now. Like I'm used to triple digits right now.
Hold on, like Lorenz, go to the corner.
No, that was
about flying cockroaches.
No. He's talking about a meme that I put up. Talking about how men will go after. They think they're leaving a butterfly, thinking that they're going after something else, which ends up being a flying cockroach. I would be the one thing that the thing that is absolutely the most valuable thing on this fucking planet in this universe, and them other little ones, then the cockroaches. You know what? I'm gonna say that they're worse than flying cockroaches. They're termites.
Wow. But termites will destroy a house.
Yeah, but that's why you get rid of them.
Terminex! Get some Terminex. Get some Terminex.
Our Lester Senior.
Oh, they're more like
thank you for being the Terminator, the exterminator.
They're more like bed bugs.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, bed bugs and termites all in the same category.
All right, it is Monday night, and you know what that means. We are football girls, so we have to start the night out with the scores from this past week, week 3. Right now, going on, we have live a couple of Monday Night Football games. The Eagles versus the Buccaneers. The Eagles are up over the Buccaneers 25-3, but the Buccaneers are driving right now. We'll sell you that much because I'm watching that game. The Rams and the Bengals, or Bungles as we like to call them in Cleveland. The Rams are over the Bengals 6-3 right now.
I'm putting my jersey on. See, I'm putting my jersey on. In the second quarter there with 3 seconds to go before halftime. And we'll go with the rest of the games. The Giants and the 49ers. Looks like the 49ers beat the Giants 30-12. The Ravens and the Colts, well, let's just say Cleveland is going to buy the kicker for the Colts a drink, okay? Give him a massage. Give him that massage.
Rub his feet, rub his leg, whatever he needs. Because that field goal, I got to see it, was absolutely beautiful. And they wound up beating the Ravens 22-19 in OT yesterday. The Titans and the Browns, well, hell, the Titans shouldn't have got off the damn plane. Okay, the Browns whooped them 27
Oh, come on, Brownies.
3.
Come on, Brownies. Spanking that ass.
Miles Garrett had 3.5 sacks. We just want to announce that. And once again, for all of those that watched everything that transpired last Monday night with the Browns in Pittsburgh. And if you are wondering about Nick Chubb,
yes,
Nick Chubb is doing well, scheduled for surgery from what we understand this week. It is not as bad as they have stated, which is a wonderful thing. And yesterday, the Browns dedicated the whole season to Nick Chubb, but especially yesterday's game. He wears number 24, and yesterday was the 24th, and they beat the Titans by 24 points. So it's in the cards. It's in the cards.
Amen, Brownies.
I mean, good game. It was a great game. We needed that yesterday. The whole city got lifted up because of, everything that transpired on Monday night. We got the Lions and the Falcons. Look at them Detroit Lions, 20-6 over the Falcons. The Saints and the Packers. Looks like the Packers squeaked that out, 18-17. The Texans and the Jaguars. Well, it looks like the Jaguars took an ass beating by the Texans, 37-17. Okay, that's another one maybe shouldn't have got off the bus. I don't know. Your Broncos and your Dolphins. Well, they were setting records there. Matter of fact, they set a record. The Dolphins did for the most points scored in the NFL, beating the Broncos 70-20. Wow.
Why didn't they turn the game off at halftime?
I'm you know what? They need a slaughter rule. Fuck that. They need a slaughter rule or something.
70-20. Yeah, that was a slaughter. That was an embarrassment. The Broncos are 0-3 this season already. Chargers and the Vikings. Looks like that was a close one. It looks like the Chargers pulled it out 28-24. Patriots and the Jets. The Patriots won 15-10 over the Jets. Your Bills and Commanders. I almost want to call them the Commodores. Oops. The Commanders. Oh, just go.
You just want to go back to the Redskins.
I just want to say the Redskins. There we go. But it looks like the Bills pounced all over whoever they are. 37-3. Your Panthers and the Seahawks.
Woo!
37-27 in favor of the Seahawks.
Woo!
The Cowboys and the Cardinals, and it looks like the Cowboys got beat up.
Yes.
No.
You got to say that correctly. You have to say that correctly.
The Cowgirls.
Thank you.
I'm not calling them the Cowgirls, but okay.
What was that score again? The Cowgirls what?
16 and the Cardinals 28.
I said it.
The Bears and the Chiefs. It looks like the Chiefs kind of skinned them Bears. 41-10. 41-10.
I can't talk shit now.
That's a slaughter rule too. Like what the fuck?
Thank you. The Steelers and the Raiders played a tough one. The Steelers pulled it out 23-18 over the Raiders.
I watched that game.
And those are your NFL scores.
Okay, JewCee.
And Tampa Bay scored, so it's 25-11 for anyone that wants to know. In the fourth quarter with 9:22 to go.
Okay, so JewCee, it is official. I'm going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
It's in Las Vegas. That's 4 hours away from me. And one of my ultimate favorite artists is going to be the halftime performer.
Girl.
Usher.
Because, baby, I'm trying to figure out how to get a contract with the NFL Network right now to do some hair so that I can be there.
So I don't give a fuck what I need to do. I need to be somewhere at that game, backstage. I need to be where the players are because I want to see the damn game and I want to see the damn halftime performance. I want to see the behind the scenes. I want to see how this shit is going. I want to see the rehearsals. I just want to see it all. And it is official.
Too, but I need to be there making money because I go to Miami the week after. So
okay, so that's a given then. So we don't even have to say that. That's a given. So we need to be at the Super Bowl 2024, February 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So just so you know, I know I said like a couple weeks. I said just give me a reason. All they had to tell me was Usher was going to do the halftime.
That part.
That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. Because I'm already trying to see the show. I want to go to see his actual show. But
it costs too much. It's cheaper to go see Adele in Vegas than it is Usher right now.
I don't care.
And Adele is a Cleveland Browns fan, so I definitely love Adele. Okay.
I love Adele too.
And Usher owns part of the Cavs, so I love Usher too.
You know what? I know you. I already knew you had that love for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we just need to do what we got to do.
I'm just saying, does anybody realize that I am only 3 years behind Usher? So he has been my boyfriend for as long as he has been an artist.
I actually did school. I did school twice in my life. And because somebody told me that his uncle was the principal at Thornton High School and that he was going to be there. The first time I ever ditched class was because someone told me that he was going to be there, and I did it. And I would do it again.
Usher was everything.
I would do it again.
I think I'm going to be more interested in watching this Super Bowl performance than I was at Mary J. Blige. I
think the only other performances that I needed to see like that was Michael Jackson and Prince.
Yeah, no, for me, it was Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Nothing will ever outdo Prince playing Purple Rain in the Rain.
It did.
Your name, like, come on, your name in the rain.
I was watching it. I'm just saying, besides the Prince performance, because I was a little younger when that happened. I wasn't Purple Rain yet.
I'll take that.
But in my adult life, it was Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and then the Beyonce Bruno Mars halftime show together. Like,
I will say that is very much so a highlight, but there's nothing that can take Prince playing Purple Rain in the Rain.
I agree.
And that guitar never
ever. I'm talking about
I was never in high school when that happened.
After that game.
And I won't even put that on top of Michael Jackson. I will put that on top of Michael Jackson. It's just something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Prince is everything to me.
All right, y'all. All right. So,
let's get to it.
Well, we got to talk about what's happening in April 1st.
So
do we?
Yes, we do.
Can we talk about that at the end?
We can do both.
So what's going on in April? Somebody else talk about it.
In April, we have the Ebony Erotic Experience. And everyone and their grandmama need to be there. And we're going to turn it over because I have to actually do this show. I'm going to let Purple Rain let y'all know what's going on.
Okay, so we have been talking about this, you guys, since January. And yes, we had to push it back. But I need y'all to understand. Y'all don't want to miss it. Like, there's a few things I'm going to mention, and that's all I'm going to say. Glory hole, classes. For my BDSM people, we got a full dungeon for your disposal. Private location. It's a sexy ass private location too, y'all. Food, drinks, classes,
and more classes.
All inclusive.
Panel discussions. For my men that smoke cigars, a bourbon cigar social area. I'm just saying, y'all, we're giving you everything you could want in an event.
2 days.
For 2 days.
Get your damn tickets.
And did I mention glory hole, fellas?
And ladies.
Fellas. Hello?
Oh, honey, they chicken.
So, again, if you want tickets, if you need to purchase your tickets for the Ebony Erotic Experience, please go to Eventbrite. And it is going to be Ebony Erotic Experience, the Second Coming Burlesque Edition. You can look it up by the title. You can look it up by Cleveland, Ohio. It is April 27th and 28th, 2024. So, if y'all want to see me, if you want to see JewCee, if you want to see Siren, you want to see the rest of the Exotic 7, meet us in person, please come. Please enjoy. We're trying to sell out.
No, we're going to sell out. You don't want to
miss it. We're going to sell out, but I would like for you to get your tickets before we sell out.
So that you don't miss
it. To guarantee your space in the place. I think it's going to be an amazing event, and I don't want anybody that, especially our fans that watch this show and watch us every week, I don't want you guys to miss out on this experience because it's going to be an amazing event. We have amazing teachers, amazing classes, amazing hosts, amazing performances. It's going to be a weekend to remember.
And I just want y'all to know I'm already in the process of getting it together. Physically, I've lost 6 pounds. Thank you. So all this lusciousness will be on display. But now, getting to our topic.
Yes.
We are excited tonight to have Miss Siren take the lead of the show this evening. And we have a great topic for all of you to take a listen to, chime in. Definitely make sure you chime in. We love it when you chat with us. And she is going to be talking about, and we're going to be helping her, but we're going to be talking about tonight attachment styles.
And to be more specific, attachment styles in intimacy.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to turn the floor over to
I
Miss
see you, sir.
Siren. Go ahead, girl.
Thank you, my beautiful, gorgeous, vivacious, absolutely sexy ladies that help me. Yes, thank you so much. All right, so this is something that I actually have been looking into a lot more lately within my personal journey and healing myself within my inner child and things like that. Asking myself reasons why, maybe intimacy or my sensuality might be a little bit, compressed. So I'm like, all right, let me look into this. So, on this episode, we're going to dive deep into the world of attachment styles and intimacy. So, today we're going to explore how attachment styles developed in childhood can profoundly impact our adult relationships and intimate connections. So, the attachment theory was developed by John Bowlby and later expanded on by Mary Ainsworth, suggests that our early experiences with caregivers shape our attachment styles. These attachment styles can significantly influence how we approach and experience intimacy as adults. So, we're going to explore the four primary attachment styles. The idea that the things that we experienced as children in essence dictates how we are as adults. I don't think we necessarily look into that or even think about that. How we responded to certain things when we were children is how we, in essence, respond to things now. So the first attachment style is called secure attachment. Secure attachment individuals tend to have a positive view of themselves and others. They are comfortable with emotional intimacy and are generally able to trust and depend on their partners. They can communicate their needs effectively and are responsive to their partner's needs. And securely attached people tend to have stable and satisfying relationships. So, to kind of go on one of the earlier episodes that Purple Rain did, emotional intelligence. To me, it sounds like the secure attachment person is the emotionally intelligent one. Is that something? Is that something that you would agree upon?
Yes.
Okay, so these are people who apparently, at least my understanding, and my name is Siren, and I reserve the right to be wrong. These people are the emotional intelligent people. They had great relationships. They had people, their caregivers, parents, babysitters, nannies, or whatever you had, grandparents, aunties, uncles, their tribe, because they do say it takes a village to raise a child. Those were the people that showed them that you're okay, you're good. This is how you deal with things. This is, those kinds of things. So that's where I go with when it comes to the secured attachment. Do you guys have anything to kind of add to those two, to that one?
A secure attachment person could also develop secure attachment only because I say that you have people who have healed from their trauma who now have secure attachment.
Okay. So in essence, they've gone to therapy, they've gotten the proper help, they've learned emotional intelligence through whatever channel that was.
And on top of it, some of us just have to go through some things to get to some things.
Contrast.
So
Contrast to be able to see.
Right. So and sometimes I know in one situation in my life, and sometimes you can be too close to a situation to actually see what is happening. It's kind of after the situation is over, and you're kind of reflecting, and you're kind of going, oh damn. And one of the things that happened to me in my life was my grandmother, because I kept seeing my grandmother as fine, as okay, and then she passed, and then I had a picture of her, and the picture of her, and I had her driver's license. I had a picture of her a few years back, and then I had her driver's license, and I wound up putting them side by side to do her obituary. And then I noticed in the driver's license how she had, the trials and tribulations that she was going through with her brothers and sister, taking care of them, being their caregiver, had taken its toll on her
Mm.
in a physical sense. But I was so close, I didn't see that. I didn't see that until
she had
passed, and I put those pictures
You had to
side by
step
side.
away. You had to step away from it.
And I had to get away from it. So sometimes you can also realize, you don't necessarily always realize something in the moment. You could have a little bit of distance or a little separation from it, and then come back to it.
I kind of call those epiphanies. It's like having a moment where you saw one thing, and then to come away from it, like you said, you had to step away from it in order to see, for however long that takes. You stepped away, and then you came back to it and had new eyes. It gave you a different perspective. And I think that's kind of what it's looking at. If we have a perspective of the way we see it as children, or as the people that are, and I don't want to say lacking, but that's the only word that I have. But in lacking that connection that showed you those things, you kind of get this, you're like, oh, wait, like right now, like in regards to like the way I was raised or whatever. I had many feelings about my mom and how she raised me. And now looking back at it, being away from it, it's like, oh, wait, time out. She was actually on something. And it wasn't that I needed to be like stiff arm it, but it was more of a hold on, maybe I need to look into this. So, in regards to the secure attachment, is as though you were raised in essence, or you had an experience that brought you to a sense of wholeness and knowing that you were secure no matter what. So, the
Yes.
second attachment style is an anxious attachment style. And this is the one that actually got me into looking more into it. I saw TikToks that was talking about anxious attachment styles and all of this stuff. And of course, that comes from looking into, narcissism in relationships. Are you a narcissist, or are you a narcissist survivor, or are you a toxic this or whatever? That's what actually made me look into all of this. And so with attachments, with an anxious attachment style, those with anxious attachment styles often fear abandonment, seek consistent reassurance and validation from their partners. They may be preoccupied with their relationship, worried about their partner's feelings, and may be prone to jealousy and possessiveness. Anxious individuals may have difficulties regulating their emotions in relationships and may be more likely to experience emotional highs and lows. Um, the reason why anxious attachment resonated with me is because I feel like that might be something that I do have. I've wanted the approval of my mother for as long as I can even remember. And I did not feel that I had it for a very long period of time. I don't feel like I still have it now. I feel like what I have is whatever you have is there, whatever I have is here, and we gonna keep them separated. And that can very well work for people. Me personally, I've realized that I have lived a people pleasing life, which is in essence me wanting that approval, that anxiousness of can I get it? Can I please I. But in realizing that, I'm understanding that that is me looking at myself as a deficit and not the actual goddess that I am. And that took years of work. I didn't know what it was. But I can be honest with you and tell you that this has been at least a minimum of a 10-year experience for me in learning and getting to a point of I'm enough. And to me, that's where the anxious attachment comes. You don't feel that you're enough. You're thinking that it's going to leave me, or I have it, and it's I have to hold. I have to. That's what I get from the attachment the anxious attachment style. What do you guys think on that?
I agree. Because that's me, 100%.
JewCee?
Read the beginning of that
So
again.
the anxious attachments, those with anxious attachment styles often fear abandonment, seek constant reassurance and validation from their partners. That's number one. Number two, they may be preoccupied with their relationship, worry about their partner's feelings, and may be prone to jealousy and possessiveness. Three, anxious individuals may have difficulties regulating their emotions in relationships and may be more likely to experience emotional highs and lows. So it's either all or it's nothing. And I actually can admit I've done that. I'm
I
working
agree.
on not doing that now. I'm regulating myself to where it doesn't have to be all or nothing, but not everybody gets there.
And I can agree with it, and I understand too. In I'm thinking back to some of my psychology. So I'm thinking about some of Pavlov's experiments and things that he did, and it's almost like a reward. Like you want
That dopamine hit,
you
that dopamine hit.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like a reward kind of of feeling like, did I do something right? Like did I do
Validation.
it
It's
good? Did
validation.
I did I do okay? Am I okay? Did I do good? And if you feel like you didn't, and or you didn't get the response,
It's all bad.
it's all
It's
bad.
all bad.
It's it's kaboom.
All bad.
And trying to talk you down off the ledge because you can't see that you're on the ledge for no reason to an outsider. Okay, you feel validated, you feel that you should be on this ledge, you feel there,
And you're not
but
giving it to
somebody else
me.
looking at you is like, you don't get your ass down off of there.
And you're like, but hey, I'm giving you my best, my all my best work right now. I'm giving it all to you. Why are you not telling me or validating what I'm saying? Not understanding. I don't need them to validate me. But that's because I don't have enough self-love to say I don't need that.
I want it
I
because there's nothing wrong with wanting someone to, you know, give you a round of applause. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody saying, especially if you've done something well, or let's say you cooked a fabulous dinner. Okay, you've slaved over the stove all day long, and then people just in your household, they just come in and eat and leave the dirty dishes. And
and
don't
don't
say
say a
thank you.
word. Don't say
Don't say
nothing.
don't say thank you.
That's how
And,
I feel every day, though.
Don't say kiss my ass. Don't say
and I
I
mean,
feel
at
like
least if
that
you say
every
kiss my
day.
ass, at least I know you don't like the shit.
right.
Right.
I'm just questioning it
But
right now.
I think for me, because I had the lack of validation as a child, I was raised in a house where I was always told I was too fat, I wasn't pretty enough, but then turned around and told, but you're gorgeous, but
Oh,
your sister's prettier, but your sister's smaller. Get your fat ass off. but this person's more talented. You're not special enough to become this. You're not that 1 in 10%.
As though who you are is less than anything else, and you're not. But because it comes from specific people who have that kind of power in your life, and you allow that because you don't know anything better, you don't know anything else.
So JewCee knows this about me, but in high school, I was number 1 in the state of Indiana, number 20 nationally in opera singers. I'm a soprano.
I'm
but
learning.
because
I'm learning. Okay.
But because being Black and an opera singer isn't what people consider a singer, and I wanted to sing professionally, I was told by my parents, but you're not good enough. You're not this person. You don't have this type of voice. But I was an opera singer, so I don't have that type of voice. To the point where I just quit singing after a while because I didn't have an R&B soul voice, so you can't become a famous singer. When I could have become a famous opera singer, because that's what I wanted to do. I was told that they weren't going to pay for a music education, so I had to pick a different major. I didn't get to go to the school I wanted to go to because of that. Like, it was just so much that's why I feel like I think I'm chasing now at 40 what I should have chased at 20, because I felt like the way that I was talked to made me become average.
So I'm going to say this to you now. You are nowhere near average, my honey.
I know that now, and I know who I am now, but it took me a long time of trying to learn how not to give a fuck what the people who were supposed to care about me think. I think when I finally realized that the people that love you the most are going to be the last people to support you, when I realized that, I didn't care no more.
So I can definitely understand that. And I'm going to say this one more time so it can be said and said that Siren said it. Sweetheart, you are every fucking thing.
Thank
and
you.
Don't you ever fucking forget it.
Yeah, she all right. Keep going.
I love you too, JewCee.
That part. I know. But I understand that because I lived in the shadow of my sister. My sister is, in my personal opinion, the most gorgeous woman on this fucking planet. My sister Angel. There is no other woman on this planet that looks like my sister does. And I'm talking about just her aura, her essence. She is the most beautiful woman on this planet to me, next to myself now. And it took me a minute to get there. Growing up, I'm 6 years younger than my sister. And so that tells you, so once she became grown, I was the next one coming up, and then I looked a certain kind of way, but I would get the, damn, your sister is fine. What the fuck happened to you? That does something to somebody.
That does
something a lot to somebody. To know that the guys around our neighborhood where we grew up was sitting there looking at my sister like, I want her, but I see the little sister. That ain't what I'm looking at right here. I got that. So in my mind, because I'm the one that was told what the fuck happened to you, I took I'm not shit. I'm not as pretty as her. I'm not even close to being as pretty as her. I'm not close to being as talented as her. I'm not close to anything that is her. That's how I grew up, because I'm 6 years younger than her. And people don't understand when they say certain things, what that can actually do to somebody. So now it has taken me.
Words have power.
They absolutely do. And it has taken me, and I will be completely honest with you. When I stopped believing that I was less than my sister, maybe 10 years ago. Maybe. Mm-hmm. And my sister is 50.
But you have to understand something too, Siren and both of you have to understand something. after a while, it's considered a learned behavior.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I can understand
after a while, it is a learned behavior. You have been in that atmosphere for a long, long time. So you finally, you might have broke free of the atmosphere, but you didn't break free
of the learned behavior.
Right, of the behavior.
Which is why we have the attachment styles that we have, because the behavior is what it is. And that is what we have to correct, in essence.
Right. And until you the light bulbs go on, until you're out of that type of environment, until you step away from it, because that's all you know, especially as a child, especially if it's coming from parents or siblings or aunts and uncles and cousins, or close friends even. These are people, the clergy, whoever's in your neighborhood that you look up to,
anyone that you give power to.
Yeah. And if you've heard this since you were 3 years old, oh, look at the chunky baby, oh, look at the chunky baby, oh, look at the chunky baby, and now you're 12, look at the chunky baby, and look at the chunky baby.
Like my brother said something to me that I don't think he even thought would even have an effect on me. He called me funny looking one time, and that stuck with me. Shit, that's still with me right now.
Yeah. Oh, mine called my feet pork digits.
Because you got the cutest little feet ever. Are you kidding me?
I got little feet.
You got the cutest little feet ever. Like what?
And as he called them pork digits.
Now I got y'all beat, and this might sound weird because it had the adverse effect on me. So I'm light skinned, clearly, obviously. That's never changed. But I had mixed girl hair. I had the long curls that you could just wet and wear all day long, right? I was the only light-skinned girl in my neighborhood. So I got bullied, whereas usually the light-skinned girls beat up and bully on the dark-skinned girls. I got bullied by the dark-skinned girls because I was pretty. Oh, you think you cute. Oh, and they beat me up all the time because I was pretty. So it made me introverted. So it's still hard for me to adjust to men calling me beautiful.
I can completely agree with you on that one. I was considered, so I had no titties and all ass. And I would get talked about so bad. Not knowing. Was not necessarily being talked about. I took it as a bad thing because they would call me Big Booty. I'm not going to say my first name on the show, but I was Big Booty, whatever my name is. And I took that as a complete diss. Fast forward to 44, and I know that I got all this ass shit. Y'all wish y'all could be me. I don't have a lot of titties or nothing, but I got all this ass, and y'all having surgeries to get what I got.
Girl, I've been built like a 25-year-old since I was 12. Okay.
I didn't have no titties till I had my first kid, so. And then after I didn't have no.
I had as much ass as I did titties. I don't know what.
But with all of this,
I still get picked on because of my height.
I like your height.
Thank you.
My height. I'm called midget. I was called midget, little bit. Well, half pint, little bit. And to this day, of course, needless to say, I haven't gotten any taller.
But that's okay because they all
at least.
Wider.
But
the part that I see with this one,
a little wider.
Everybody want to be you, JewCee.
That part. Now with me, up until I was an adult,
Peyton. Everybody love that shit.
Up until I was an adult, my height was a negative. So when I became an adult and about 25, it was you a Amazon, you a Glamazon. Everybody wanted to be tall. But growing up, I was tall and light skinned. You tall, jolly green giant. Like my uncle would call me the jolly green giant. He still does to this day.
I know some men that would love to climb that tree. Don't play with it.
I know plenty of them that do, but up until I was an adult, I always took my height as a negative because I was tall and I loved to wear heels. I still love to wear heels.
I wish I could. I'm trying to learn how to walk in heels. I promise I am. Yes, JewCee, I'm still trying to learn how
I've
to
been
walk
walking
in
in heels. I've been walking in heels since I was 12 years old. You couldn't
heels. All
tell
right,
me nothing.
Beyonce. All right, Beyonce. You
I'm
said
just
15.
saying,
You said 12. What?
we are not going to talk about heels because that's a sore spot. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's a trigger. Okay. I went from wearing 4-inch heels to tennis shoes. But mine is because
I prefer tennis shoes, but I love the way heels
I
look.
shattered.
No. My obsession with heels was so strong that when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was that mom you saw pregnant pushing the cart in heels on Sunday after church. I wore heels through my whole entire pregnancy with Gabrielle. I didn't stop wearing heels pregnant until I got pregnant with my, because by then I was over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I wore heels.
I'm still trying to learn how to walk in them at 44, just so you know.
I'm short. I wore
I
heels.
got you.
And
I'm going to teach you.
4.5 inches. And my cousin she just one time I'm sitting in the living room at my apartment there on Chambéry Lane, and my cousin, just because we wore the same size shoe, and she had a key and she had to go. I told her she could have them, and they were going to match this outfit absolutely perfectly. They were a light blue teal. Oh, they were gorgeous. Wedge heel, thin strap over the slip-on sandal. They were
that skinny heel. That skinny heel.
No, the thick. It had the thick.
I want that skinny heel. If I could wear that skinny heel, that stiletto.
The vids were so cute. Ugh. And she walked in the house, went right up the stairs. I'm sitting on the couch. She went right on up my stairs. You know how my apartment was made in Indy.
Mm-hmm.
You come in the door, you can go up the stairs, or you're right in the living room. She went right up the stairs, got the shoes, went right back out the front door, and never said a word.
Okay, so
I had to call her. I had to call her on the phone and go, bitch, if you ever walk in my house
and don't
speak. She was like,
so Purple Rain, so we can help my anxious attachment style. I'm gonna need you to help me in April with my walking in heels. Thank you.
I got you, baby.
I love you for that. So we're gonna go on to the next one.
It's about balance.
I know, but I don't know if it's my booty or if it's my ankles, if it's my knees or it's my back. I don't know, but we're gonna figure it out one way or the other.
We got you.
We're gonna start low and work your way up.
Right. I'll start with my 3 inches right now. The third one is avoidant attachment, and a lot of us do this. So one, avoidantly attached individuals value independence and self-sufficiency. 2, they may be uncomfortable with too much emotional closeness and tend to prioritize personal space and autonomy. 3, these individuals may have difficulties expressing their emotions and needs to their partners, leading to an emotional distance in the relationship. That is what we have for the avoidant attachment. And I can honestly say that I do see myself somewhat in all of these. I'm going to be honest with myself in regards to individual value, valuing independence and self-sufficiency. I do. Part of my reason for valuing independence and self-sufficiency is the way I was raised. My mother was that way. And the women on my mother's side, it's a lot of women on my mother's side of the family. I will tell you, women on my side, mother's side of the family, it's literally 10-1. So women needing to feel self-sufficient, I'm independent. That was something that I grew up with from my mother's side, and they are very, 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 very strong women. Uncomfortable with too much emotional closeness and tends to prioritize personal space and autonomy. I feel like some of us that feel that is because of codependency and realizing it. When you realize that you have been completely dependent on someone else's opinion of what you're going to do because you've made their feelings and what they want and their thought processes and things like that the most important thing in your life, because you become a people pleaser. And when you realize that you become a people pleaser and you start to pull back and create boundaries, I think that that can sometimes trigger an avoidant attachment because you don't want to be seen as an anxious attachment person. What do you guys think about that?
I can see that.
JewCee?
Um, for me, I guess that second part, I can identify with, but I think I did a lot of that. Basically, the strong portion of it, especially, is because we also have to look at somebody's life. A lot of you know my story. If you don't, very, very briefly, I lost both my parents at 16 and 17. My dad died at 16, my mom died at 17. So you either grow up. I didn't have a big family. Um, my actual blood brother molested me, so I'm not close to him. I couldn't go through what I was going through with him. Plus, we're 6 years apart, and he's a jackass. But then you have things, I guess, too. We have to look at um, just the circumstances of your life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I can honestly remember back at before my parents died, I was pretty happy go lucky. I had everything you could possibly need or want. I didn't have to need or want for anything. I traveled. I did, I was a competitive baton twirler. I took dance classes. I had friends. I, did well in school. Blah blah blah, all that stuff. But when you lose, when you have that kind of loss, and I don't want to necessarily call it trauma, but I want to call it loss. Um, you become lost because my guides, and I had good guides. I'm truly, honestly, can be say that I was blessed with two good parents. Were they picture perfect? No.
I don't think anybody's is.
Right. But were they good parents? Did they lay a solid foundation? Yes, they did.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, but then, you go through things. I went through a lot of things by myself, right or wrong, good or bad, you know, and I wasn't one of those people that looked for anybody's approval. And I think you, Siren, on my mother's side, I come from a long line of very strong women, in their own right. My aunt very strong, my grandmother very strong, my great aunt very strong, um, very very forward thinking, not gonna take your BS type of women. Um, my grandmother was 4'11". My grandfather on my mother's side was 6'3". I guess one night he was drunk and he thought he was going to hit my grandmother, and that didn't end well for him.
Ooh.
She came after him with a red hot poker for real.
Okay, my dear.
Yuppers. Yeah, that never happened again. Drunk, sober, or anything else.
So all of these things that we've experienced in our lives, the people that have come before us that have shown us certain things that were a very intricate part of our growing up and our learning and our seeing, because we look at, and we can call them ancestors, the people that came before us, our parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, all those people that are intricate in our lives and how we were raised and how we grew up. the way they did things and the way they saw things is how, in essence, we were brought up to be. Not completely, because of course no one can see the perspective of anyone else, and we do understand that. But the idea of the way we were treated and the things that we saw are what has created the attachment styles that we have now. That secured, I'm sorry, anxious and avoidant. And as well as the next one, these are all the things that have, in essence, shaped and molded the people that we are. The last one, because I want to also get to the next part of this. The last one is disorganized attachment. So with this disorganized attachment is a characteristic by a mix of anxious and avoidant behaviors. People with disorganized attachments may have experienced inconsistent or even traumatic caregiving in childhood, leading to lack of clear strategies for dealing with intimacy. Then the last one, they may exhibit erratic behavior in relationships, such as push pull dynamics. And to me, that's passive aggressive. The disorganized attachment to me encompasses an idea of, I don't even know how to say this without it sounding like, ugh. I had all this shit that I dealt with as a person, as a child, and growing up, and trying to get myself to where I need to even be functioning as a human being in this society that we are in, to where I'm just gonna lash out at whatever I feel like I need to lash out at, whether I need to or not. To me, that's what I get from detachment, from disorganized attachment. That's what I get from that, and I can see
they're always on either end of the spectrum.
yes.
They're either really avoidant or really clingy, and they're never the same.
And I feel like, if I'm honest with you, I feel like that is the masses, because we have both. Okay, so you had some people say, "I accept you," and then you had some people be like, "Oh," or then you had some people like, "Fuck you." To me, all of those things can bring any individual to encompass those attachment styles. But at the same time, to me, and maybe and this is part of where we're going. So understanding your own attachment style and that of your partner can be a powerful tool in improving your intimate relationships, and in essence, how to work with the different attachment styles. Before I go to how to deal with that, is there anything else you guys want to add to what I just said?
I was gonna say that with the different attachment styles, and I said this when we mentioned the first one, it can be based off of other things, not just necessarily the way you were raised, because you could have been raised to have secure attachment. But if you ended up in a relationship with someone who might have had one of the other two, you could end up disorganized. Or one of the other two based off of the situation in that relationship.
That
If you ended up with somebody jealous and narcissistic, you could easily end up with anxious, because you're always looking for validation, because a narcissistic person, you're never enough for them.
Absolutely. JewCee?
I guess basically just for me personally, I think you have to be able to take a look at, as an adult, and I work with a lot in my field. I work a lot with women, and they carry and harbor a lot of baggage and trauma from childhood, and they don't know how to cope with it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know what it is. And I'm a advocate for counseling. I'm not an advocate for counseling because I'm a counselor. I'm an advocate for counseling because I had to have it. When you're not um, you're not crazy, guys. There's a lot of things that go on in life in general that you may not know or be equipped to handle. And sometimes just talking to a complete and total stranger, someone who is neutral, not someone that's going to tell you what you want to hear, and not someone that is going to berate you because maybe you feel different. I've always felt different. Maybe you think different. I've always thought differently. Um, Mine has always been on the more erotic and sexual side. And of course, when you're coming up, that's not what you're supposed to be thinking about. But
It is.
hey, it is. And I went on, and now I'm doing what I finally have wanted to do, because I didn't do it before because, ooh, it's going to be frowned upon. Ooh, my family's going to say this. Ooh, my family's going to. And I found out that my family is the most supportive people on this planet for what I do, because they know I'm coming at it from an educational point of view. So, um, but if you're in a rut, or if you're any of these kinds of things, you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling um, like you've got voices in your head, or you might want to harm yourself, or you feel like you're not enough, I put the hotline number down here again so that everybody can go in, and you can call. You can hit 988. It's the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You're not alone. Um, Dial it before you do anything drastic. Get yourself some professional help. Professional help is not necessarily your girlfriends that are going to sit around and say yes to everything that or your guys that are going to sit around and say, yeah, man, you right. Yeah, yeah.
If
No,
you want some yes people, then understand that's exactly what the fuck they are. They are not telling you the truth.
right. So
Understand that.
you've got to get with people that are going to be there for you when you right and be there for you when you wrong. Too many of you don't want to hear that part, that wrong part, but we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
So, with all of that, and JewCee, honestly, thank you for saying all of that, because that's a really big thing. We have these ideas of what we think that we are, and we have to be secure in that. And if someone can come along and say no, and you believe it, then you need to look within yourself as to why. Because the only person that can validate you is you. And that's in essence is what I feel like these attachment styles is. Your attachment is because you're wanting validity. And honestly, and I've been saying this to people, and I feel like this is absolutely true. All human beings want to do is be seen, heard, and understood.
Yep.
And as long as you got those things right there, you can do anything. But the moment you feel like you need that from somebody else, that's when your limitations come. So, to understand your own attachment styles and that of your partners, it can be a very powerful tool and improving your intimate relationships. Here's some ways to work with different attachment styles. So, with the secured attachment style, continue to nurture open communication and emotional intimacy. Be understanding and supportive in your partner if your partner has a different attachment style. So, to me, what that says is you may have one attachment style, they may have another attachment style. Does not necessarily mean that one is better than the other, and it does not mean that one cannot help the other. Understanding, being seen, heard, and understood is what human beings need. Understanding is that biggest thing. Can you understand me and accept me for who I am, and knowing this is just me? That to me is like a huge
Amen.
thing. That is a huge thing. No one is supposed to be you. And I think a lot of the times when it comes to that being supportive, we feel that we can be supportive only when these people fall into line in what we feel is okay. No, that's not a way to be. Personally, I have no other words of saying that's not how to be. Accepting people for who they are, understanding that they are not you, is a big thing. Um, Before I continue on, as far as how to handle the secured attachment, you guys have anything to add?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you Purple Rain.
No.
All right, so the second one is the anxious attachment style and how to deal with that. Working on self-soothing techniques to reduce dependency on your partner for validation. Communicate your needs calmly and clearly. And we're gonna take this to what Ms. JewCee always says. What is that communication?
Clear, concise communication.
So that's what this is in essence saying. So communicate your needs calmly and clearly to avoid overwhelming your partner. That anxiousness, and I can understand it and I relate to it because I have felt like that up until maybe a month ago, that I needed this. And if I'm honest with you, I felt like from my partner, I need you to tell me that what I feel is good so that I can feel good in it. Not understanding that I'm good. And everyone is not going to understand, and everyone is not going to validate that. But that anxious attachment wants that. So I really do like the fact that communication, that clear, concise communication that JewCee talks about, is something that is definitely needed so that you don't have questions and you are not sitting there, well, I wonder if they know this. No, you do know this. We had a communication, we talked about it, and I clearly communicated it with you. Before I continue on, is there anything about the anxious attachment and dealing with that you guys want to add?
Just letting people know that sometimes when you're in that type of a what I want to call it, we'll just say in that moment of time when you're feeling anxious, when you're looking for something that's not there, be careful what you look for. You just might get it. You just might get it. Be careful.
Oh, please elaborate on that, because that right there is a big one, because I didn't even think about that.
Be careful. Because a lot of people, okay, you might push somebody to the point where they say something that they can't take back. Okay? Because you're feeling some type of a way. Always remember your relationships are a two-way street. It's no longer a one-way. It's what people forget to do is when they step into these relationships, and this is what I see a lot of. I see a lot of I and me instead of us and we. Y'all got too much I and me in a relationship. I and me is when you're single.
Mm-hmm.
Us and we is when you get with somebody. So you got to stop, and sometimes you got to just be quiet, let the other person express themselves, let them say what they need to say, vice versa. Relationships are not just about doing this, but sometimes it's about this. Listening and not running your mouth. Don't say nothing, just listen.
I definitely want to say yes. Absolutely yes.
But
But
you,
the other part of that is you knowing yourself
mm-hmm.
will definitely help you decipher what is for you and what is not for you.
I can agree. I definitely can agree with that. That you have to not be afraid, because I think there's some fear factor in there,
Mm.
because so many of us want to be accepted.
Seen, heard, and
Um,
understood.
we want to be accepted. We want to be accepted by that person, we've given the scenario. Remember, Siren, our scenario? We see somebody across the room and we haven't
even had the whole line of relationship, including divorce, before we even know your name.
Right.
Really? Divorce too?
Yeah.
That too, yes. We done went through the whole 9 yards.
Or death.
We done said hello to the divorce table with kids and all before we even know the name. Yes, we go through the whole you did.
Yeah, it has to be. We have to do a better job of communicating and not just going, having a Harlequin moment, it's all going to end happily ever after.
Yes.
And this is not a Harlequin romance, honey.
No, this is not, honey. Get it together.
It's reality.
Yeah. So the next one is avoiding attachment. So how do you deal with that? Challenge your discomfort with emotional intimacy by gradually allowing yourself to become more vulnerable with your partner. Recognize that it is okay to rely on others at times. That is a very slippery slope for me, and I don't even know if I even said that properly. So my name is Siren, and I reserve the right to be wrong. In regards to the challenge your comfort with emotional intimacy by gradually allowing yourself to become more vulnerable with your partner, that is easier said than done.
Well, and the one thing I think that wasn't in there is the trust factor. You in order to be vulnerable, or in order to relinquish your vulnerability, you have to you have to be able to trust the person.
Absolutely.
Can I trust you with my deepest, darkest secrets, or are you gonna go run and tell your girls, or are you gonna go run and tell your boys?
Or can I trust you to not take a very simple thing of asking, even if it's something as, do you think I'm pretty? Can I trust you to give me an actual answer rather than you using that as a means of making me dance to your rhythm?
Weaponizing it.
Yep.
That is something, and this is not gender specific or anything. This is a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling like, well, I want to make them sweat a little bit so that they can do what I want you to do. Do you not hear how that is manipulation? Do you not hear how that is not a safe space?
At all.
That is a big thing. We want people to dance how we want them to dance because of how we feel. And a lot of the times that how we feel could be insecure. And we're wanting that validation from us. So rather than us doing what an anxious attachment person would do, we're doing the avoidant attachment. Well, maybe if I push them away and they show me that they really want me, they won't take that, or they'll do what I want them to do.
Oh, let's stop the game playing as adults. How about that?
I'm gonna say that's manipulation.
Again, for the cheap seats. I swear to goodness, because that's really what it is. We're feeling some kind of way, and we're like, well, wait, well, maybe if they do this, and I'll feel this kind of way. But what that's telling me is that you need to work on you. It's not them that needs the work. It's you.
And ladies, stop withholding the coochie. Stop thinking that the coochie is, all that, because what you won't do, someone else will.
What you won't do for love.
Sometimes going ahead and giving up the coochie will let you know who they really are in the beginning, and you can get rid of them a lot faster because they're really good at manipulating you until they get it.
And sometimes if you have to do that, you already know the answer.
Yep.
And then sometimes makeup sex is fabulous.
And it is exactly just
there have been instances though.
I just need to get what I need to get off right now, and I know you know what I need to be done, and that's that.
Yeah, well, I was referring more to how some, and I'm using women and men as the manipulators, but women as withholding coochie. Because
That's
sometimes you're like, we don't want
do
them.
men withhold dick?
Yes, they do. But when women sometimes withhold the coochie, it's because they don't want to be seen in a certain light. So what I'm saying to that is, though, sometimes ladies, fuck how they see you, because doing that, especially if you want it, will let you see who they, because they still have their representative until they get the coochie.
Ooh. I like that.
First of all, I ain't withholding no coochie. Okay, we
I
haven't
want
said.
no woman.
I have my needs. So if I want to give up the coochie, I'm going to give up the coochie. But what I've learned is that in times when I have given it up to certain people, it showed me their true colors immediately after. And
That's
their
knowing how.
representative immediately left.
I like that. I really, really like that.
So, I mean, and I guess it depends on how you're going into it. But I guess I'm looking at it from a standpoint that you are either in a relationship, or you think, okay, you think you're in a relationship, and he or she didn't do something that.
So you want to hold the coochie? Yeah, so no, I get what you're saying too.
Yeah. So yeah, that part. Stop it. Okay.
Who just said hello?
And then
tell us who you are, because we don't know your name. So I'm gonna go to the last one. So disorganized attachment. Seek therapy or counseling to address any past traumas or unresolved issues that may be contributing to your disorganized attachment. A professional can help you develop healthier coping strategies.
See, yes. I told you that
help.
Right. But I remember when you told us what the disorganized was, I said that sometimes that can come from trauma or relationship trauma.
Yep, you sure did. Sure did. So with all of these are how to work with your different attachment styles. We're doing very well. Thank you so much for tuning in, CP. So remember that attachment styles are not fixed. An individual can develop more secure attachment with personal growth and therapeutic support. Understanding the working with your attachment style can lead to more fulfilling and harmonious intimate relationships. This is the entire process, part of all of this. The reason why I even wanted to even talk about this is because I understand we have these issues, we have these attachment styles, and the reasons why we have these attachment styles. This is me speaking to my own inner child, me saying, hey, you are okay, and how you are dealing with things is how you're dealing with things. I am getting the help that I need, how I need to get it. And I do suggest that everyone else, please get the help that you need so that you can heal and understand your attachment style and be how you want to be. Because that's exactly what this is about. So with all of that, do we have anything to add before I continue?
No, just letting everyone know change is the only constant.
That part. Yeah. And going scientifically, that is the only constant.
It's the only constant. So it is okay to change, to grow. And what you thought of when you what you had, the thoughts you had when you were a teenager, and I know we've all had teenagers. I've had teenagers in my car, and the stuff that they talk about in the car, I'm like, did I sound like that with my mom and dad?
Let's do the time.
Unfortunately,
what is it? Those are the stupid things I used to say.
One of my favorite songs.
But you grow up and you grow out of some things, and it's okay to change, and it's okay to self-reflect and see, hey, and it's okay to say, hey, I did some dumb shit, okay? And obviously I wasn't thinking straight, or I had some bad information or some partial information. Now I have all the facts, and this is how I'm going to be.
And let's be clear, it's not necessarily that you made some bad decisions. You made a decision that you learned from. Words don't teach, actions do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go through some shit. You have to
do some
deal with
things
some
to get to
things
some things.
in life in order to get to the next phase of your life. And it's okay. There is nothing wrong with going through, okay, I might have did that not necessarily the right way. Did you learn something? That's the whole point. Did you learn something? And if you
I
learn,
ain't doing it
go
again.
for it from there. So with all of that, just that you guys right. So before I close out, is there anything else we want to add?
No, ma'am.
All right. So that is all for today's episode.
Yay!
On attachment styles and intimacy.
Whoop, whoop.
We hope that you've gained valuable insight into how these attachment styles can impact your relationship and how you can navigate them for healthier, more satisfying connections. I am Siren, and that is my part of the show.
Well done. Well done, ma'am. Well done. Enjoyed it.
Thank you,
I like
ladies,
that
for
topic.
indulging
Oh my
me.
God.
Thank you for indulging me.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
Always.
And if you guys missed any of the show, of course, on all of our platforms, you can check it out. We're up on YouTube, so you can always listen to any of the shows that you miss about
Yes.
JewCee Tales Erotic Chat.
And
But if you have not gotten your damn tickets for the Ebony Erotic Experience, since
you're gonna get beat up, especially if you on my friends list and you ain't bought your ticket yet. I'm just gonna start beating y'all up.
Okay, I'm not even gonna do all that. Y'all gonna miss some shit. Then gonna ask some questions, and then we're not gonna give you any answers. So the best thing
we ain't taking no pictures, we not video recording, we not doing that,
and we don't go live at this
you're not
event.
there. You're just not there.
Ain't gonna be no world star going on. Ain't none of that. So you gonna miss.
And if you're not there, you're not gonna get to see me in my new corset.
And if you're not there, you're not gonna see my new body.
So get your tickets. Go out to the Ebony Erotic Experience, the Second Coming Burlesque Edition. It is on Eventbrite.
We don't come.
We do have a new couples pricing. Okay, y'all asked for it. We've given it to you. So make sure you check that out as well. We got a lot planned for those 2 days crammed in there. So we want all of you to join us and have some erotic fun with us. Games, contests, great special guests, food, liquor, vendors, all in one absolutely gorgeous venue. So get your tickets. Don't make any excuses. Just do it.
Because I'm not accepting any. We're not accepting any excuses.
I'm ignoring you, CP.
We're not.
Is that who that is? Is that who that is?
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
Look.
Listen to your mistress.
First of all, some people like to hear themselves talk. We're not paying no attention, no mind. Some of y'all got some lip service. That's okay.
He's a Scorpio, y'all. His birthday's the same day as mine. He's being an asshole.
Understand that I raise a Scorpio and I don't bow.
So here's the thing. Get your tickets. Go out to Eventbrite. And if you can't join us, that's okay. Spread the word. That's all we're asking you to do. You might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that wants to be in the house for this event. So spread the word. This is for us, by us, about us. The melanated folks and their admirers. So you definitely want to be in the house. Join us October 20th. I'm sorry. Whoops. That was the date that we were supposed to have. April 27th and 28th in Cleveland, Ohio. Get your tickets out on Eventbrite. Okay.
I'm coming from LA, so you better beat me there.
There you go. There you go. Send me the link.
I got you.
All right, you all. We have a great time tonight, and definitely we want to thank Miss Siren for giving us such wonderful insight into a great topic. If you missed any of it, please go back and take a listen because you might just learn something. Okay, you never know. Okay, all right. So for my beautiful ladies, real quick, you guys got anything coming up this week?
This week? No.
All right. And I'm clear this week. I have nothing except for the Browns on Sunday. Woo!
I'm on set this weekend with my koala, so we're gonna have fun. And if you tune in my YouTube at Dani's Window Presents, you might see a little bit of it.
All right, you guys, ladies, have a love you.
I love you guys. Oh my God, I love y'all.
Next Monday night, don't miss it. We start at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, 6:30 for our folks out on the West Coast, and for our folks in Barbados, our brothers and sisters, we start at 10:30 p.m. Make sure you join us. Remember to enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism. For Ms. JewCee and my co-hosts, Miss Siren and Miss Purple Rain. We love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.